Today is December 14th, and today is the meeting for the South Brunswick School Board. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Just have to do one thing here. I apologize. It went away. My computer's not working very well here. Okay. I'm sorry. I have to do the statement of advance notice, and my computer is doing something fancy. Sorry. Okay. Computers. Okay. The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Act was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the board secretary has caused notice of this meeting, including date, time, and location, to be posted in the South Brunswick Library, the board office, filed with the township clerk, and communicated to the Home News Tribune and Star Ledger. Mr. Pawlowski, can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Julie Ferrara. Ms. Laura Hernandez. Ms. Deepa Karthik. Ms. Alicia Khan. Mr. Roger Krishna. Mr. Mike Mitchell. Present. Mr. Barry Nathanson. Here. Dr. Smitha Raj. Ms. Lisa Rogers.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve agenda? Mr. Mitchell, approval. Second. Ms. Ferrara. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Now the board will be moving into executive session. Be it resolved that the Board of Education, we did that. I'm sorry, let me start over. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Township of South Brunswick hereby moves into an executive session in accordance with the Sunshine Law, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 75, 10.4 through 6 through 10.4-21, to discuss the following: harassment, intimidation, and bullying appeal. Be it further resolved that the discussion conducted in executive session can be disclosed to the public at such time as the matters have been resolved. Formal action may be taken at any meeting. May I have a motion to move into executive session? So moved. Mr. Nathanson, second. Ms. Alicia Khan. All in favor? Aye. We shall now move into executive session, and we will be back at 7 p.m. Board of Education meeting for December 14th. May I have a motion, please? So moved. Mr. Nathanson, motion. Second? Who was second? Ms. Khan. Thank you. All in favor? Any nays? Very good. We will reopen the meeting. The next order of business on the agenda is board minutes of November 16th and executive minutes of November 16th. Board Secretary Mr. Pawlowski drafted the minutes were sent out for both meetings this past Tuesday, December 12th. Are there any corrections to the minutes distributed? No corrections to the minutes distributed. They stand as written. Thank you. Next is the report of the superintendent, Ms. DeFon. Oh, did I? What did I say? Oh, I said superintendent. No, she's not the superintendent. The student representative, DeFon Lee. Go ahead, Pam.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Starting off with some news from the high school. Student Council has been busy decorating for Deck the Halls, an annual Student Council fundraising event where we decorate the outside of classroom doors for the winter holidays. We have completed over 80 orders and are still working hard. This is also the second year that we are decorating the board office as well. Mr. Fetter's dedication to our district theme of equity has even extended to his holiday door. I hope you enjoyed my design. We are very thankful for staff supporting our council and contributing to all of the school spirit in the halls. We've started our December Spirit Days strong with days that have included Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, Best of the Season, Deck the Halls, and White Out, wearing various holiday and winter gear to show our school spirit. We have even more coming up next week. Next month, Student Council will be attending the New Jersey Association of Student Councils Winter Conference at TCNJ. We will be part of electing the new State Student Council Board. We will also have the opportunity to attend workshops presented by other student councils in New Jersey, and we will be presenting our own workshops on how to create a Deck the Halls event and how to start and run a successful student senate. Additionally, we are excited to announce that we are one of only 3 student councils in the state who are being considered for the Standards of Excellence Award. We will begin the next steps of the process at the convention. Student Council is looking forward to hosting a semi-formal winter charity ball on December 26th to support Hugs for Brady. The dance is open to all SBHS students and will take place in the Annex Gym and Freshman Cafeteria with a DJ, refreshments, and a photo booth. The class of 2027 is hosting a Winter Wonderland event on December 14th, where there will be a gingerbread house contest, classic holiday movies, and hot cocoa with other treats. The class of 2026 and 2027 recently hosted a successful trip to the King of Prussia Mall. Last Friday, 103 seniors went on the American Dream Mall trip hosted by the class of 2024. We aren't sure if the staff or students had more fun on that trip. Our clubs are also doing some really amazing things this month. Next week, HOSA will be hosting a mock trial for specific competitive events. Other schools will be participating, and an award ceremony will be held at the end. All 6 robotics teams competed this past weekend at Milburn High School. Team B qualified to advance for states based on their skill score. DECA successfully hosted a tie-dye event with more than 150 club members in attendance, decorating their t-shirts in all shades of blue tie-dye. The Asian Cultural Club hosted a chit-chat-chai event that packed the freshman cafeteria, and a good time was had by all. The Viking Closet is hosting their red carpet prom dress drive, where they will be collecting new and gently loved prom dresses, formal attire, and shoes. If you would like to donate, please stop by on Pierre's Deli from 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. on December 16th. Please email any questions you have to carlagarcia@sbschools.org. The James Kimple Center is collaborating with North Brunswick Chick-fil-A for Do Good December. They are accepting donations of non-perishable food items and personal items. Drop-off locations are located at the SB Board of Education, North Brunswick Chick-fil-A, and SBHS main entrance. For athletic news, the boys and girls swim team raised money and participated in the Marisa Tufaro Foundation Swim for a Cause charity event. The boys and girls bowling teams also participated in the Marisa Tufaro Classic Tournament and donated toys for their toy drive. The teams both took second place in the Edison Classic Tournament held on December 9th. The SBHS Library is thrilled to announce they will be hosting a visit by Jeff Zentner, author of Goodbye Days and other award-winning novels, on January 23rd, thanks to the generosity of the SBHS PTO. Mr. Zentner will hold 3 sessions for our students and personally autograph his books. Pre-order forms and other information will be shared with students shortly. The SBHS Library also was recently featured on CNN to highlight the media literacy education students at SBHS receive. The segment features interviews with several SBHS students, Mrs. Maganello, one of our librarians, and Mr. Johnson, one of our social studies teachers. The segment is available to view on the CNN website. Thank you so much for your time. I hope everyone has a restful and enjoyable winter break, and I look forward to reporting more in 2024.
Very good. Thank you so much. Very good. Next order of business is the report of the Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Fetter.
First, welcome everyone. We have great students going to do some singing. We have a presentation from our sports and athletics. So it's a great night. This is always a good December. So we're excited about tonight. So thank you all for coming out. I'm going to go quick. I promise. You guys want to get up here. So we had a cool thing happen at the high school this week. CNN came to the high school to film Jeff Johnson, one of our co-chairpersons for Social Studies Department, and Lisa Manganello, one of our school librarians. And they were doing a lesson on information literacy and how that works in media. And it's we have a 3.5-minute video they produced from it, even though CNN was here pretty much all day, Mr. Bell, I believe, right? They were interviewing kids, they interviewed staff. But that's a great honor for, a national, one of the most main national news media to come to South Brunswick. It's not even the first time that's happened. Even this year, I think we had another station come out to film this. So New Jersey's ahead of the curve on information literacy. And what's happening in the world is California is looking to add a standard as well. So they're looking to get some context of one of the school districts that have already started doing this and doing it so well. So kudos to Jeff Johnson and to Lisa Manganello. Oh, there's Lisa in the back there. Yay. Hey. Just impressive, awesome. I got to see the clip. I watched it a few times, honestly. And it's worth a watch. So more information is coming on that, sharing that. I think Lisa and Jeff are probably looking to share that with their families as well and kids. So just great. Thanks for putting us on the map, Lisa. Great job. So we are also gearing up for next year's preschool. It starts now. We need to get our kids in line. We already have a lot, but we're still looking to get more kids interested. It's a lottery situation, so if you know anyone that has a 3 or 4-year-old looking for a free full-day preschool, please have them contact the school district. We are sending out a mailer to the community as well to notify that we just want to get as many as we can in. We did up our program for next year by 90 students. So next year we will be providing free full-day preschool to 340 3- and 4-year-olds next year. So that's pretty cool. Emergency closing information. I have not done a snow day call in 3 years. I'm due. I think it's. I'm sorry, Barry. I feel it's coming this year. So would you guys like at least one snow day this year, kids? Yes. 2? 14? Just want to make sure. So anyway, what we need to do, we need to make sure your information is correct. Tell your parents, anyone listening tonight, make sure we have your information correct, because that call is going to come in like at 5 o'clock in the morning, and if you miss it, you'll be getting ready for school. You won't even know it, and it'll be too late by then. You'll be waiting for the bus in the snow. So again, check your Genesis parent portal and get that all settled for yourselves. Again, I love making this announcement when we have students in the audience. No homework from over break all the way through January 4th. Yay. No tests. All right. With that said, yeah, you can clap on that. But if you don't clap loud enough, we'll give you homework. With all that said, everyone, thanks for coming out tonight. I'm going to turn this back over to President.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Mr. Fetter? No. All right, very good. Thank you, sir. And congratulations again, Ms. Manganello. She's a neighbor of mine, and every once in a while I hear her reading to the birds out there. You know, she just reads all the time. No, it's a fantastic honor. Congratulations. Okay, we have 2 recognitions this evening. I'd like to first call up Mr. Varela and invite the board members, if you'd like to take a seat at the first row. We'll also be continuing after that with fall athletics. So we have 2 recognitions, so we could go join in the front.
So as the board transitions, why don't we transition to the stage also? Ms. Aranzula. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of our music staff, our supervisor of Music K-12, Mr. Robert Sears, and our student musicians, I'd like to thank the South Brunswick Board of Education for supporting our K-12 music program. We know how fortunate we are to work in a community that truly values the arts. Tonight, I would like to share with you exciting news from the high school, beginning with our choir. Our SBHS Concert Choir has a long tradition of outstanding performances and musical excellence. You can hear them perform not only at our school concerts, but at many other events throughout the year. Under the direction of Mr. Aldo Aranzula, we are excited to have our concert choir here tonight, and they are excited to perform for you. We would like to dedicate this performance to all of our Board of Education members, thanking them again for their support and their service to our students, families, and staff in South Brunswick. Now, once they're set, I'd like to ask you to please join me in welcoming our concert choir.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Hello, I'm Aldo Aranzula, and behind me is the Honors Concert Choir, and we're so excited to sing for you tonight. Thank you so much for having us here. We're going to perform for you a couple selections from our winter concert, which just happened last Thursday. If you want to see the whole thing's on VTN on YouTube. And we'll be singing for you guys a little bit more next week. And this first song that we would like to sing for you is called Sleep by Eric Whitaker, which is a very, very beautiful piece, and it's about the things that kind of keep you up at night, the troubles that go on in your brain that doesn't allow you to get that restfulness that you deserve until finally you deal with it, and then finally we find rest or sleep. here's another piece called Salmo 150. Let's wake up. And it wouldn't be the holidays if we didn't send you off with a little bit of holiday song, and we'll send you off with Home for the Holidays. Thank you so much. And again, next week we'll be caroling around the high school, and we will also be visiting Black Forest Lane for a little performance for everybody there. So enjoy Home for the Holidays. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. Very good.
All right, well done, Concert Choir. I'd like to move on to our second group being recognized today. Our SBHS Marching Band. Our show is unique, creative, and artistically brilliant each and every year. This is due to the vision, talent, and hard work of our incredible marching band staff, combined with talented students and supportive music parents. This fall, our marching band presented their 2023 show titled Purification, which tells the story of a coral reef, its wonders, the devastation caused by pollution, and its remarkable resilience. Our season began by hosting the SBHS 43rd Annual Tournament of Champions competition. Our marching band performed an exhibition to a packed stadium. On October 7th, our band traveled to the Ludwig Musser Classic held at MetLife Stadium, where our students triumphed, earning first place with a score of 81.6 in Group 5 open competition. The Viking Marching Band also received the Caption Awards for Best Color Guard and Best Visual. At the North Warren High School competition, we secured a resounding first place score of 89.2. Prior to our home football game against Edison, the South Brunswick Environmental Commission and Town Council recognized our students and staff for their show's design and theme, which presents an artistic interpretation of environmental concern and hope. Please join me in congratulating the collaborative efforts of the exceptional staff, Mr. T.J. Brungard, Mr. Joshua Oldham, Ms. Lauren Arcure, and Mr. Jacob Ford. In late October, we hosted and competed in the U.S. Band's New Jersey State Championships, securing second place in the state. Their journey continued at MetLife Stadium for the U.S. Band's National Championships, where they proudly claimed 7th place nationally. Absolutely incredible. Just last month, the 2023 SBHS Viking Marching Band achieved a historic milestone as they performed as the halftime entertainment for the NFL's inaugural Black Friday game. Let's enjoy a few slides, and yes, we even had Scott working on that day. You can even see our logo in the Jumbotron there. There's Scott on the left. And it's too bad the Jets did lose on that day, Scott. I'm sorry. This extraordinary opportunity came as an exclusive invitation from the U.S. Band's competition circuit, showcasing not only our marching band's exceptional talent, but also filling the South Brunswick community with immense pride. Culminating a wonderful season, our SBHS Marching Band will travel to Orlando to perform as the halftime entertainment for the NCAA Pop-Tart Bowl and in the Universal Studios Holiday Parade. Really, what a great season. So at this time, I would like to ask Board President Rogers to please join me at the podium to present certificates of accomplishment to our SBHS Marching Band drum majors. Okay. So please join me in congratulating our drum majors, Ashwina Agarwal, Brian Colquist, and Ved Lakshman Arayanan.
Congratulations. Great job. Great job.
Now, accomplishing great things requires a great team. Thank you to our Performing Arts Parent Association for their incredible support throughout the entire season. Thank you to our staff for another exceptional season. To our students, we are very proud of you and your musical accomplishments. So to end this segment, we'd like to watch a video clip for our amazing marching band.
My cousin was at that game. She said you guys did an awesome job.
Performing their 2023 program, Purification, U.S. Bands is proud to present the South Brunswick High School Marching Band.
I'd like to now invite Mr. Brungard and Mr. Aranzula up to recognize their students who have successfully auditioned for our region ensemble.
We're just dropping stuff. All right. Hello, my name is TJ Brungard. I'm one of the band directors at the high school, and we wanted to recognize students who auditioned for and were selected into region ensembles this past weekend at J.P. Stevens High School. These students, by being selected for region band, are now eligible to audition for all-state band as well next month. So we had 5 students make it in band. The first we'd like to recognize is Dridi Dinesh. Next is Riya Gupta. I don't believe he's here tonight, but scoring the highest score in the region on clarinet, Pablo Ramirez Garcia. Shriyat Manoj. And Brian Colchrist.
And now for the choir version of all of that. First we have Gurv Banerjee. Satvik Dhananjay, who also had the highest placement of the bass twos this year. Congratulations. He is not here tonight, but congratulations to David Frederick, Riley Green, Seher Kaur, Shivali Pandya, Viana Pillai, and Stuti Vishwanathan. We also have some choral students, in addition to the region ensembles, that got to perform in New Jersey All-State Choir or have yet to perform in New Jersey All-State Choir coming up in January or February. First student we have is Satvik Dhananjay. Seher Kaur. Shivali Pandya, and Shivali Pandya is a candidate for the Governor's Award in Vocal Music for placing amongst the top 2 in all the state for soprano 2. Congratulations. Viana Pillai.
We also had 2 students who, based on their auditions last school year, performed in all-state ensembles this past November at the NJEA convention. For the all-state jazz band, he was the lead tenor in the all-state jazz band, Obik Majumdar. And on flute, Vishal Kumar.
So as we conclude tonight's presentation, I would like to thank our concert choir, our student honorees and their families, Mr. Aranzula and Mr. Brungard for assisting tonight, Ms. Marianne Murphy for creating the certificates, and a huge thank you to our board members and Mr. Feder for allowing us to share the amazing work that our kids are accomplishing each and every day. Let's have one more round of applause for everything music at the high school. And now I'd like to turn it back over to Ms. Rogers.
Thank you so much. Now we have the privilege of having our sports Athletics Award, so I'm going to call Mr. C.J. Hendricks.
Thank you, Madam President. I appreciate it. Good evening, everybody. Happy holidays to all Vikings, past, present, and future. Thank you for allowing me to come to present about our fall athletic programs that we had this season. First off, thank you to the Board of Education and district leadership, as well as our admin team at the South Brunswick High School for all their support. Our kids really do everything they can to represent not just our school, but our community to the best of their ability. So we have a couple things that we're going to present tonight. The first thing is something new. I'm going to bring up some of our students and recognize our students that we're going to be awarding with our Viking Sportsmanship Awards, just so you have some history on how sportsmanship works. In our county, the GMC, we're only allowed to recognize one male and one female student athlete every year of all the sports that we represent and we have at South Brunswick High School. So I thought that was a little foolish because we have such great student athletes that exemplify sportsmanship throughout all our programs. And so we decided to award a sportsmanship recipient for each sport at our high school. And of that pool, we will nominate a male and a female representative to our conference. So I'd like to call up the students who are present here today, and we'll acknowledge the students who are not. So please come up and line up against the wall, please. First student we're going to recognize from girls soccer is Miss Eva Kelly. From girls tennis, Miriam Ruban. From cross country, Joshua Yoon. And some of our students who are not able to be here, but we'd like to recognize from the football team, Joshua Berg. From our boys soccer team, Ayush Ramanan. From gymnastics, Anushka Polari. From field hockey, Lamia Hussein. Girls cross country, Elizabeth Wisbeski. Was here earlier but had to leave, unfortunately, for girls volleyball, Giselle Parker. And finally, from cheerleading, Miss Christina Marti. Again, the level of sportsmanship that we see our students exemplify throughout the course of a season, through ups and downs, is admirable because, that's all we want. The banners, the championships are all great things, but to be recognized for the things that you do when, people aren't looking or when the focus isn't on you, the great character, the great leadership that we have within our program, all of these students are very deserving of this recognition, so we're happy to do that for them. As a school, we talk about doing things the Viking way and making sure that we all understand, what we're really here for, and that's just to create great connections, put our best foot forward in everything that we do, and to try our very best to make sure that we represent South Brunswick to the best of our ability, as well as us as individuals and our families that are part of the community. So as the athletic director, I'm very thankful of that. I'm thankful for the support that we get again from our district. Very thankful for the people in our athletic department, Ms. Kim Ryan, Ms. Kathy Ahern, who work tirelessly to make sure everything is taken care of from day to day. Our coaching staff, our custodians, nurses, athletic trainers, building and grounds, everybody who chips in is a contribution to the great work that our student athletes do. So before we get into our fall highlight video, which again, another point of pride for us, I want to acknowledge another student who's here today. One of our girls tennis players came to me earlier in the summer and talked about a program that she thought would really be a great hit for us, just a home run. And because we do so much great work with our Special Olympic athletes, with our unified sports athletes, she pitched the idea of starting unified tennis. And one of the beautiful things about South Brunswick is not just its inclusivity, but its ability to collaborate, not just as a staff member from teacher to teacher or admin to teacher, but also from student to teacher. And the fact that this student came to me with this idea, spearheaded it, and said, Mr. Hendricks, if you can back this, if you can show this support, I think it would be a great experience for our unified athletes. she was hit the nail right on the head. Our kids had such a great experience with it. We had such great support from our girls tennis coach, John Lally, and our unified tennis coach, Mr. Craig Schwartz, who's a PE teacher at the high school. This young lady was really, really strong in her belief that this would be a great thing, and it absolutely was. It was so much fun to see our kids be engaged in such a new way. And I know we recognize our unified athletes at the end of the school year, but I want to take this special moment because not every kid is doing that, and the fact that she did that is something that I'm really proud of. It makes me proud to be a South Brunswick Viking. So I'd like to bring up and recognize the student who piloted and spearheaded our inaugural unified tennis season, girls tennis player, Miss Serena Srivatsava. And again, without the support of our principal, Mr. Varela, and all our admin team, it's not possible to get these things moving. And I think that support is super important, and I think that's what makes South Brunswick a special place. So thank you to our students who are here to be recognized. Thank you to the students who weren't able to be here. And without further ado, please enjoy our Fall Highlight Sports video.
What's up, Viking Nation? It's Mr. Hendricks, Director of Athletics at South Brunswick High School. Today I'm here to share some of the many sports highlights from this past fall season and to show you all the many connections that we're making through our South Brunswick community. We've invited our youth programs, we've brought out many people throughout the course of our school year to show all of you what it means to be a Viking. So we're excited to show you what we're all about. Go Vikings! Hope you enjoyed all the highlights from this past fall season. We're very excited to continue to show you more exciting experiences that we have to offer throughout the course of our school year. Our student athletes work very hard in the classroom, in the community, and also out on the playing field and out on the court to represent what it means to be a Viking. Thank you for all your support, and we hope to see you out there this upcoming winter season. Go Vikings!
Thank you again, and if I could just give one more shout out to our building principals at the elementary level, the middle school principals. This year we were able to collaborate and do a lot of community-based stuff. You know, I say it a lot, it's, you know, part of being a Viking is knowing that this, you know, these kids are more than athletes. You know, they contribute, they give back, they run clinics, they go speak to little kids at our elementary schools, they give back time at the middle school programs. So thank you to the building principals at all our elementary schools, our pre-K program, and our middle schools, because we were able to do appreciation nights at our football games by inviting them out for free with their families throughout the course of our season, and also, you know, building connections with our youth programs, with our PAL program. So thank you to all the people who were able to make those moments happen, because to see our younger and you know, future Vikings get excited about athletics here in South Brunswick is a big deal. You know, we're at a point now where we have to recruit our own kids. So if we provide ourselves the opportunity to show them how special a place this is, it allows them to stay home and make great experiences here with us. So thank you again, and happy holidays.
Thank you. That was just awesome. That was so much fun to watch. My favorite time of the year, to see all these presentations. Okay, let us move on. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, next on the agenda is a presentation of our school safety report for the reporting period 2, then that is January through June of 2023, as well as our HIB self-assessment report for 2022 to 2023. And I know that Blair Eisman and Jamie Bomer are all the way here at the podium, and they will be presenting the reports. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jamie Bomer. I'm Director of Special Projects. I'm here with Blair Eisman, Director of Professional Development and Programs, and we are your anti-bullying coordinators for the district. So we're going to report out about the number of investigations, the reasons or the natures of the investigations, what we do as a district to prevent HIB, our self-assessment grades, and then school safety data will be reported out by Scott. So we're required to report out 2 times a year, and this is reporting period 2, which is last January of 2023 until this last June 2023. So here are the numbers. So there was a total of 85 investigations and 35 were confirmed HIBs. Now we know this data looks very different than probably ever. And the reason for that is last year the state put out a new form, and it's a form called the 338 form. The state's reason for the form is to promote consistency among HIB allegations. So it's basically creating more investigations that have to be completed. So even though you see the numbers, the majority of our investigations were not confirmed HIBs. And the information is differentiated by level, so it's all elementary schools, the 2 middles, and then the high school. And this is the same information, it's just showing you the amount of investigations per month and then the confirmed HIBs from those investigations. So it's just the same numbers, but when they happened. This slide shows you the investigations by protected class. So I also, in addition to the percentage, added you the actual numbers. So you can see that there were 30 investigations under the category of other, or it's called other distinguishing factor. So examples of that would be things like weight, intelligence, clothing, and even hair. So this shows you the same numbers again, but it's over the years, so from 2015 to 2023. So this one's by the levels, how many investigations by levels, and then the confirmed HIBs by level. And then this is just, this, again, the same numbers, but the total number comparison of investigations versus the HIBs throughout the years.
As always, the district works to be proactive in preventing any incidents of HIB. And as I scroll through these slides of different programs and initiatives that take place across all of our buildings, I do want to give big kudos to our anti-bullying specialists in each of the buildings, as well as our administrators, and really every staff member here in district, from paras to teachers, coaches. Everyone plays a role in HIB prevention. And these are just some of the many programs and initiatives that take place. And as Jamie said, these are specific to January through June of last year. We are also going to report out on self-assessment. This is done annually. As a reminder, have what the assessment is here. It's a state requirement where we're basically grading ourselves on our HIB policies, practices, and procedures. So each school does complete a self-assessment at the building level with their school climate and safety team. The assessment consists of 8 core elements, which are listed there for you. The self-assessment, it's pretty lengthy. It's about 35 pages. We do have to include documentation to support the scores that we give ourselves, and the data is submitted to the state. So these are our self-assessment grades for last year, 22-23. Total maximum points that we can earn on this assessment are 78 points. So you could see in that far right column where each school lands. And the last row is our district average. So a 76 out of 78. And I'm going to turn it over to Scott to share the school safety data system report.
So this is just some overlapping information to some of the HIB data. This is another required report that talks about, if you look at the first column, you'll see it talks about what goes into this report. And that includes things that are considered violence, vandalism, and confirmed HIBs. So it just is a reporting period this is the reporting period just from January to June of last year. And this just kind of breaks out things that we have to report on. I do want to acknowledge one of the points of pride that we that I'll share with you right now are, it's not up on the screen, but I'll just share with you that our suspensions, which is something we're actively working on specifically at the high school level, in 18-19, which is the last full year of reporting prior to COVID, we actually had 507 suspensions. Last year, which was 22-23, we had 109. So that's a substantial difference due to trying to do as many other things other than remove students from school. So that's just a point of pride that you don't really see in this data. That's just information we thought you'd like. When you move, can you go to middle and high school? When you move to the middle and high school, you know, and you're talking about nearly 5,000 students, and you're talking about 180 days for 5,000 students. And when you look at the safety of our schools, and especially in the secondary schools, you know, you're not seeing numbers of concern. And that's kind of how I use this data. This is a compliance metric, but I try to look at the data to say, what is it really telling us? When you have one incident of a weapon, and that weapon was not a gun. When you have, you know, yes, we have kids that are suspended. Yes, we have kids that have bullying situations, harassment, and all of that. But we're talking about how many instances. Someone do the math. You're looking at 5,000 students times 180 days. It is remarkable at how amazing our kids really are and how well the staff does in working with them. With all that said, to talk a little bit about the HIB in general. So looking at a recent HIB, and just to give you a basic idea of what we deal with the state's compliance metrics, I'm going to give you a generic sample of what happened. So a generic idea is a 7-year-old says something mean to another 7-year-old, which hurts the child's feelings, and let's say it crosses over into something to do with the other child's physical appearance. Certainly not good, certainly not condoned, certainly nothing we want to see. But things do happen when kids are learning how to behave and be social, and they make mistakes. Well, that particular mistake will cost about a 20 to 30 page HIB report to be generated. It will take about the equivalent of 7 to 10 hours of staff time. And while the spirit of the law is, my opinion, spot on, we need to do whatever we can to help children learn how to kind of do this right and to not really get to the point where their actions are so, off that they hurt someone to that degree. But kids make mistakes. And what could be handled in a way, exactly how it's handled, talking to the children, doing restorative things, letting children know, support them if counseling is needed. But now it's costing 7 to 10 hours of time. And probably if you broke that down into money, probably thousands of dollars per HIB being spent to build paperwork in examples as simple as what I just said. 7-year-old says something else to a 7-year-old they should not have said. But we want to help those kids. I'm just not sure how 28 pages, investigations, 5 conversations with the parents about a matter like that is doing more. What it's doing, I will tell you, what it's doing is it's bringing out sides of people that would otherwise not exist. It's putting people in a position that they should not have to be in to manage a situation that can be managed, that families who want to support kids. So this is Scott speaking. I know I sit in the superintendent's chair. But why this is frustrating for schools is even though we agree 100, I've yet to meet an administrator, staff member, or teacher that does not agree that this is real bad and that this needs to be addressed. But the process we have to go through, and you as board members, you see these. And when you read the volume, the voluminous amount of words that are being put to paper because a 7-year-old said something they should not have said to a 7-year-old, it's troublesome that we've presented this to legislation to the Department of Education and it goes completely on deaf ears to the point where not only do they not listen, but they make new laws about existing laws that force it to go even more so that direction. So now you saw 85 HIB reports up from what, 20? 25? 30? 40?
18.
But 35 to 8, again, we follow the law, we do that, and the reason we do that, and the reason these things are so done to this level with, these two are like investigative, like it's almost like IA, they're like the internal affairs having to monitor all this. And the reason is because if you don't do it right, that's when you could get in trouble from a legitimate lawsuit, a legitimate situation where the right work wasn't done. So we do the right work, I think, to the whatever degree there is. But I'm telling you, when you see numbers like this, I have no idea if this means it's worse or not. These numbers don't tell me. What does tell me is our extreme behaviors from students is up. That has nothing to do with any of this data. That is nowhere to be found in here because that does not really come into these reports. But the extreme behavior is up. The behavior of adults is up. You can see it. Look in the media. I say this all the time. Look on any social media platform. Everything is raised. With that said, the state felt, let's add more paperwork, because that's all this was, is more paperwork to an already extremely cumbersome set of tasks associated with just how we can better support kids. So again, I'll end it, and sorry for my diatribe, but I'll end it with spirit of HIB law, absolutely spot on, agree with 100%. But when you have legislators writing school work, it goes like this. It does not work. And kudos to the two of you and your teams. We know what you guys go through. We know this uptick with the 338, and all this has been extremely cumbersome. And I'll tell you what, as we lose more money, you know, you saw that long list of things we do to try to prevent. That's the stuff that will go by the wayside. It's the little things that will go by the wayside. The tier 1 level work we do to help. That's what will be lost. But don't worry, we'll stay compliant and do 500 investigations a year, which, you know, I don't know. But I'll stop there. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Any questions for them? I'm sure, Lisa, if you want to.
Any questions for us?
Does anybody have any questions? Any questions here? I just have a comment. I do agree with you 100% in terms of the amount of effort that the state has put on this. It's in every district. I hear it from other members, and it's extremely frustrating. To the point that you just made, though, is that it seems that the world is becoming more hateful and the anger has increased. We saw it in November. We addressed it at this board during the election period. So while we have this extraordinary amount of paperwork to do, and we're going to do everything we can to continue to get to the legislature to say, pay attention, look at what we have to go through. I'm not looking for an answer today. It's just a general question. And what can we do to get to the parents? Because this behavior, behavior starts in the home. You know what I'm saying? So what can we do? Is there a forum? And I know it costs money, I get that. But is there a forum that we could do to say, listen, the HIB law has changed. Mm-hmm. They've added more standards, if you will, or requirements. The little words are now big words in terms of falling into the HIB category. To get the parents to understand the shift and to see, and if you could go back to the bar chart where you showed elementary, that one. Yeah. That one concerns me. And the reason it concerns me is that blue line. Mm-hmm. Because if we've seen an uptick, and I don't know what they are, because you know I don't have the category, or the whole report, obviously. But when I see that increase like that at the elementary level, that tells me it's going to carry over to middle school and high school.
Lisa, let me do it.
So what can we do? That concerns me.
I hear you, and it should. Let me do a little data check, though. Mm-hmm. Look at the numbers.
I get that.
It's a bar chart.
I get that. I know, it's only 18.
If a data presentation,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd be using the bar chart. I know that's what they gave us. But the bar chart is a difference of, can you go back to the bar chart for a sec? Go back to the bar chart. You're looking at
That. There you go.
You're looking at from around 8 to around 18.
Right.
A school of 4,000 kids.
I get it, but my concern is...
But your concern is about
it's going to continue to go up.
So one of the problems that I think we're all facing, if I'm just speaking, is social media has changed this game.
Correct.
And the words coming out of little kids' mouths...
It's horrible.
...is unbelievable. That how they've ever... So often they don't even know what the words mean, but they're coming out of their mouths. It's unbelievable. So absolutely, what do we have to do to get to families to understand that kids hear? And Lisa, they're listening to information. If you watch Lisa's and Jeff's little video with CNN, you know, they're trying to teach kids at the high school level and in the middle school level how to discern information they hear and see. But when you're 6,
you can't.
and you're allowed to watch whatever you want, or
Right.
allowed to hold a device that has internet access, and you can go boom, 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 it's different.
And,
So,
and I don't know what that answer is.
I don't know,
how
but
do
it's
you
a-
get-
it's a good question.
Right, how do you say to, how
a
do we
good
get the parents to understand, these are the words the kids are saying? And, where do we start and end, right? What's our responsibility? I get that. But there's got to be a level of responsibility, because the schools, the kids are in school, a third of their time. So they're picking it up, and that the concern I have is that whomever is saying that makes up that blue line, is going to encourage others, and it will increase. That's my concern. I hope not, but that's where I am. So, what can we do? And from a parental, the kid, like you said, 6-year-olds are going to be 6-year-olds, and they're going to pick up the words because they're being said in the home and on social media. And I think it's got to be brought out to the parents, say, pay attention, listen, it's happening.
Yeah. Although this would just be one small piece to supporting parents, we are looking to plan a parent academy
Good.
in the new year.
But it's got to be
around-
more than Parent Academy, because they don't all come. So does that mean it has to be a video and sent out as a link on a
Well, they are.
Thursday?
They are.
All that, and I know, we have a great team, and I commend you all, I really, really do. But there's got to be something else, there's just got to be. So, thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Julie?
Yes, thank you for being in the trenches of all of it. I just have a quick question. Do private schools in the state have to report as well?
What was the question?
If private schools in the state have to report as well.
I believe so.
I don't know.
I'm honestly, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet either way, actually.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure whether or not they do.
I know charters do. Charters have to report.
It may behoove the state to do like demographic studies of the contrasts, to give themselves an understanding of, the hard, maybe the overwork that you're doing. I don't know, could be reflective of whether they're demanding too much.
Thank you.
Great job, really. I know
Mr.
you all are
Nathanson
trying hard.
has a question. Thank you.
Yes, Barry.
So Scott brought up an interesting point, because this device has changed everything. If you think about it, originally when I first had my cell phone, I wasn't able to do any of this except make a phone call. So, it's changed because parents want to have access to their children, and they seem to be getting younger and younger who has the device. Even now, if a kid is on Facebook, they have access to TikTok, which is on Facebook now. So it's just getting, every year it gets worse and worse. And I think that has a lot to do with it. Plus, having 1,000 stations on television doesn't help.
Right.
And I'll date myself, but when I was a kid, I had nothing close to 1,000 stations.
Right.
So, it's what makes a difference, and unfortunately, because if you look at those bars, now they don't have categories based on if the person if the kid ties into he or she heard it on Facebook or something like that.
Well, when we do an investigation, we do identify the type of, we call it a gesture, so whether it be a verbal comment, a physical act, and we do also note if it was electronic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And do we track to see, let me restate that. Are there metrics associated with that?
We have our own spreadsheets where
It'd be
we,
interesting to see what that is, to your point.
Absolutely.
The impact.
we'll be
from
back
that.
in the spring for our second report, so we can include
That'd be
that for
great.
you.
Because that would also be helpful for parents to see, too.
Yeah.
This is the impact of that device.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to our next item. We have board, committee, and liaison reports. I do realize that we've only had 3 committees that met, business ops, education, and advocacy. So business operations, Mr. Nathanson, if you'd like to give us a short update, that would be great.
Did we meet? We didn't.
Well, we had the share service. I don't know if you want to, okay.
Shared services met, and we had a real great meeting. And we're waiting to get some feedback from the township so we can proceed on some shared services.
Okay, thank you. There was an education committee report, but unfortunately, Dr. Raj fell ill this afternoon, so we'll have to get that at the next one. And then we've added the advocacy committee to this particular group. Just a quick update on that. The advocacy committee met last night as well. This was our second meeting. We provided an update to the group that we have on this committee. It is a citizens committee. We provided them an update on the South Brunswick Shared Services Committee meeting that we had, as Mr. Nathanson just reported, as well as we gave a quick update on the status of legislation in Trenton. We were able to form 5 teams or groups with this team. They included student communications, resident and business communication, township communication, lobbying legislature, and just to bring together information on like districts or schools that are going through the same thing. These groups identified their audience that they were going to speak to, either in writing or verbally. They pulled together existing presentations to create talking points, to identify really what the most compelling message will be to the audience that they will be speaking to. So the group, for example, that was doing students would obviously be speaking to the students to engage them and to look for support in the effort for the funding formula that's coming up, to see if we can get some changes to existing laws. Any other comments on that, Mr. Feder? Okay, any comments on that? Board comments on committee reports. All right, so the board committee reports will be posted as stated. Next is public comments on agenda items only. The Board of Education recognizes the value of public comments on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express themselves on school matters of community interest. Complete copies of Policy 0167, which govern this portion of the meeting, are available to the public at the auditorium entrance, online, or by contacting the board office. To permit the fair and orderly expression of comments, we ask that the participants be recognized and to announce their name, place of residence, and group affiliation if necessary. Each statement that is made by a particular individual shall be limited to 3 minutes. No participant may speak more than once on the same topic. Mr. Pulowski will indicate when you have 15 seconds remaining. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. No participant may address or question board members. No discussion between a participant and respondent shall extend the 3-minute time limit if there is one. It is our plan to listen to each member of the public. Once all questions and comments from all members of the public are made, the Board of Ed may respond or respond via email in the most timely and efficient manner available. All questions and comments will be noted. The first public comment is for the consent agenda items only. There will be a second opportunity for the public to comment on any matter. Do we have any members, Mr. Pulowski, who pre-registered?
Not at this time.
Very good. Are there any members in the audience that wish to make a public comment? No, there are no comments, so we will close this portion of the public comments. Next order of business is old business. Seeing none, we shall move on to new business. New business, there is none. Therefore, shall move on to the consent agenda review by Mr. Pulowski, please.
This evening's consent agenda is not as extensive as other meetings. We have a very quick review. We have approval of some transfers, some financials, the bills list. We have some Chapter 192, 193 funding for our non-publics. We have a non-public technology order for Nullimon School. Motion 1.6, we're abolishing a bunch of policies. And motion 1.7, we're adopting new policies. We have a budget calendar that we're going to approve, an athletic shared service agreement with North Brunswick for some hockey, that they will play with our students. We're approving the reappointment of the high school faculty member, Lori Boudou, to serve the South Brunswick Township Commission on the Arts. Accepting a certification of election results. We'll read those out loud when we do our reorg meeting. Approving the lease purchase process for some Chromebooks. Approving the authorization for the use of the request for the RFP process to go out for an ELL program consultants. Approving out-of-district tuitions. Extension of professional services or HIB reports. We have the approval of the resolution for travel and related expenses for reimbursements. Student field trips. An LEA plan for the American Rescue Plan Act. We are approving the revised allocation of IDA basic and preschool funding. And we're approving the revised allocation for the ESA funding. And then you have your personnel. So that's our consent agenda.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions or comments from the board to Mr. Pulaski regarding the consent agenda? Seeing none, may I have a motion to pass the consent agenda? Mr. Mitchell, motion, second. Mr. Krishna, second. All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Okay.
Consent agenda is roll call.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. My apologies. It is a roll call vote. My fault.
It's okay.
Roll call, Mr. Pulaski.
We can do that. Ms. Julie Ferrara?
Yay, accept policy 2270. Can I do that?
Did you hear her?
Yep,
Okay.
2270. Who do you, Ms. Alicia Khan? Yes. Mr. Mike Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Barry Nathanson?
Yes.
And Ms. Lisa Rogers?
Yes.
And Mr. Raja Krishna?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Thank you. And again, apologies for the mix-up. Okay. The next agenda item is public comments. This is the second opportunity for the public to comment on any matter. You are reminded of the previous statement made regarding public comment rules of policy 0167. Again, at the podium, state your name, spell your name, and announce your place of residence and or your group affiliation. Do we have any members who have signed up for second public comments? No. No, Mr. Pulaski, no.
None.
Are there any audience members who wish to make a public comment for the second? No, very good. If there is no comments, we will close this portion of public comments. Okay. There is no further business to be discussed, so to note, our next board meeting is set for January 4th, 2024, where we have the reorg. We will be moving into executive session, so I will be reading that comment. Just prior to that, I wish everyone a very, very restful and winter break and a happy and healthy new year. We will be moving into executive session, so let me read the comment, and I will need a motion. Be it resolved. Hold it, I got to read it first. Be it resolved that the Board of Ed of the Township of South Brunswick moves into executive session in accordance with the Sunshine Law, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, NJSA 10-4-6 through 10-4-21, to discuss to re-enter into the HIB appeal discussion. Be it further resolved that the discussion conducted in executive session can be disclosed to the public at such time as the matters have been resolved. Formal action may be taken at any meeting. May I have a motion to move to re-enter executive session? Mr. Nathanson and Ms. Khan. All in favor? Aye. All right, we will now move into executive session. Thank you, South Brunswick. Enjoy your winter break.